Hello, it's Iron Port, and it is proudly brought to you by West Blue Consulting, Ghana Oil Company Limited, and Ghana Community Network Services (GCNet). Proud media partners, the Business and Financial Times, and this program brings the activities of the port very close to you, the general public, and also the general public very close to the activities of the port. Folks, this week, awards here, awards there, and awards everywhere. Once again, the Ghana Shippers Awards has taken place. A number of organizations have been recognized for their tremendous contribution to ensuring the growth and development of the country's sea trade.
Players in the shipping industry have been awarded for their immense contribution to the growth and development of the industry at the second edition of the Ghana Shipping Awards. The award was aimed at recognizing the contribution of companies in the export trade for their contribution to national development in line with government's vision of transforming the economy into an export-driven one. The Minister of Transport, Kweku Ofori-Esiama, said although there have been some drastic transformation in the port clearance processes with the implementation of the paperless port system, government is not oblivious of some existing inherent challenges.
Government is committed to ensuring that as a country we achieve a complete automated clearance regime and shall not entertain any deliberate act of collusion on the part of elements within the process to frustrate its successful implementation.
The Transport Minister said the port expansion projects at Tema and Takrady ports have been given focal attention and work is progressing steadily.
It is expected that these infrastructure projects will lead to an improvement in the capacity of our ports and operational efficiency in handling the projected cargo throughput.
The CEO of Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, said the award ceremony will instill in industry players a sense of fulfillment and encourage transparency and compliance with laid down procedures in the trade and transport industry.
This year's awards, which cut across varied sectors including road, ocean and air transportation, freight forwarding, shipping lines and agents, government agencies, insurance and financial institutions, is an improvement on last year's categorization.
West Blue Consulting won the Excellence in Innovation and Technology Award. GCNet won the Trade Facilitation Organization of the Year and Consultancy Service Provider of the Year. Seaport Terminal of the Year went to Amaris Terminal. Exporter of the Year went to Kingdom Exim Ghana Limited. Star Assurance won Maritime and Logistics Insurer of the Year. Sea and Shore Services Ghana Limited won Marine Service Provider of the Year. 7log won Shipping Agent of the Year. Promising Shipping Company of the Year is Axis Shipping. Magdan Shipping Company won Shipping Company of the Year. Batch Freight won Freight Forwarder of the Year, and Liner Importer of the Year went to ECG. B5 Plus won Dry Bulk Exporter of the Year. Conship won Logistics Service Provider of the Year. Delta Ghana Limited won Handicraft Exporter of the Year. Dela Russell Oklu of Daily Graphic won Reporter of the Year. And C won Maritime Reporter of the Year. And CEO of the Year went to Daniel Macaulay of Magdan Shipping Company. Ghana Port and Harbours Authority won the Anas Aremiyaw Anas Transparency Award of the Year. And Golden Jubilee Terminal of the Tema Port won the Terminal of the Year Award. Your most authoritative port and maritime television program, Iron Port, was adjudged the best media program in promoting and championing the maritime port and shipping industry.
Also, indeed, deserving organizations winning those awards, and one particular award that's caught the eye of a lot of people is the Anas Aremiyaw Anas Transparency Awards. Last year it went to West Blue. This year it's come to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. But what is in this Anas Aremiyaw Anas Award, and why did it come to the Port Authority? What's in it, and what transparency are we talking about?
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has been awarded the Anas Aremiyaw Anas Transparency Award at the second edition of the Ghana Shippers Awards for championing integrity and transparency in doing business at the nation's ports. The award was in recognition of GPHA's role in campaigning against unethical practices in the port, which has led to the reduction in practices such as pilfering, extortion, and so on. It will be recalled that the Port Authority gathered evidence of extortion from transit truck drivers who had raised several complaints about the level of extortion on the Ghanaian corridor. Subsequently, a meeting was arranged between the Port Authority and Ghana Police Service, who, after viewing the investigative works, issued a directive that no transit truck should be stopped on the corridor. The Port Authority further met all regional commanders of the police service in Kumasi to sensitize them against corruption on the transit corridor. The Port Authority went further to meet heads of various security institutions such as immigrations, customs, BNI, national security, and so on. National service personnel who were posted to Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority embarked on an integrity campaign through the port community to sensitize port users on the need for them to stop paying bribes before services are rendered to them. To strengthen the integrity cause, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority named an integrity ambassador in the person of John Emba, who found a wallet in the port containing some foreign currencies at the time he was unemployed and handed over the wallet to authorities. GPHA pushed for the then president of Ghana to recognize the late John Emba. Again, the marketing department of the Port Authority embarked on a sensitization program on integrity for its staff. Officers of the department moved from department to department to prevail on staff to observe a high level of integrity in the course of their duties. Former heads of the port issued directives to all port users that reduced wrong practices drastically. Staff debates were also held to sensitize staff to eschew negative practices like extortion and taking of bribes before rendering services to clients. Several flyers were also printed by the Port Authority and distributed to staff and persons who do business with the Port Authority and allied stakeholders as part of the integrity campaign. Today, many can attest at the port that the issue of pilfering, which led to car parts getting missing at the port, has reduced considerably.
Well, so the Port Authority's efforts in ensuring that unethical practices come to an end in the port was paid off, or has paid off, at the Ghana Shippers Awards. They have tried with that integrity campaign to stop things like pilfering. In the past, when people bring cars, they complain that my horn has been removed, my belt has been removed, and all of that. Most of those things are things of the past. That's why they won that award. Now, another very important award was the Terminal of the Year. Now, the terminal is where most of these actions are taking place. One of the biggest terminal we have in the ports of Ghana is the Golden Jubilee Terminal. A lot of divining activities take place there. Why were they given the best Terminal of the Year? Take a listen.
The Golden Jubilee Terminal, an inland clearance depot located on the western end of the port of Tema, was also adjudged Terminal of the Year. Receiving the award on behalf of GPHA, the Director of Tema Port and Acting Director General, Edward Osei, expressed the belief that the award will spur the staff of GPHA on to do more in the interest of the organization and the country.
I want to say thank you to all the workers of GPHA once more. I believe that the new spirit of dedication, hard work, empowerment among our customers and workers of GPHA will surely make GPHA one of the leading companies in Ghana and in West Africa soon.
The Acting Director General said the authority will continue to work harder to make doing business at Ghana's ports the best.
We are continuously striving to do things that will improve the efficiency of the port. For example, the paperless concept has been quite successful. Though we've had challenges, we are trying so hard to reach the goal of the Vice President vision that goods, once they reach Tema Port, will be cleared in 4 hours.
Currently, in addition to privately owned divining yards, the Port Authority has 2 major divining yards at the Port of Tema, namely the Depot 10 Divining Yard at Terminal 1 and the Golden Jubilee Terminal. The Golden Jubilee Terminal, which was commissioned in 2008, sits on some 20-acre land space spanning an area of 97,412 square meters and comprises a container freight station CFS, a state warehouse, car park, and an open area for unstuffing and storage of containers containers, banking services and customs and security services. The GJT provides receipt, storage and delivery services. It is the only terminal responsible for receiving and delivering vehicles imported in containers and provides the services in tandem with full container loads FCL, less than full container loads LCL or groupage container load, and house-to-house receipt and deliveries.
So that's a Golden Jubilee Terminal bagging its award and going home smiling there. Another big award is the one that was given to the most authoritative television program on national television in Ghana. And you may pick up from everywhere across the sub-region, whether in West Africa or Central Africa or even Southern Africa. It is the only television program that brings the port activities closer to the general public. Iron Port was also adjudged the Champion of Ports Activities and Sea Trade Business Award.
Champion in promoting the maritime and shipping industry, and it goes to Iron Port. A round of applause for them.
Ghana's authoritative and only port, maritime and television program, Iron Port, was also awarded for being a champion in promoting the maritime and shipping industry and to bring transparency in doing business at Ghana's ports. Last year, Iron Port was the maritime media organization at the maiden edition of the Ghana Shippers Awards and also the media program in championing the interest of shippers at the Ghana Maritime Awards. The Institute of Public Relations awarded Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority Best PR Organization of the Year for initiating Iron Port to champion the use of Ghana's ports and the interest of shippers. Iron Port is aimed at bringing the activities of the ports closer to the public and the public closer to the port. So far, Iron Port is the only television program that focuses on shipping and maritime trade in Ghana, with a niche of being the fastest, elaborate and most reliable source of informing the entire Ghanaian community on sea trade. Since its inception, the program has conducted groundbreaking investigations that have assisted importers to recover their goods or bring sanity on the corridors of Ghana. Notably among issues pursued by Iron Port is an importer who imported a Honda CR-V, which was wrongly confiscated by the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, even though it was not up to 60 days. The importer reported to the Iron Port team, who embarked on a painstaking investigations to ascertain the veracity of his claim. He was eventually compensated with a 2013 version of the Honda CR-V. Again, an importer of a Toyota Highlander visited the offices of Iron Port with the concern that his clearing agent misled him, leading to the seizure and subsequent allocation of his car. Iron Port once again took up this issue, conducted its own investigations, and the owner got his car back. Iron Port also followed up the issue of an Audi Q7, which was reported by a US-based Ghanaian Jonathan Hammond and his wife. According to them, the vehicle was wrongfully confiscated by Customs. Following persistent follow-ups with Customs and the Vehicle Allocation Committee, an arrangement was reached with them for compensation. Another issue Iron Port made progress on is the Ghana-Australia Group, which imported some charitable goods and couldn't find the location of the items. Once again, the Iron Port team took it up by conducting an investigation which led to the discovery of the items in the Customs State Bonded Warehouse. Through the Iron Port platform, several importers have been educated on the need to use legitimate means to do their business. It therefore didn't come as a surprise when Iron Port was adjudged the best maritime media program and a champion of the interest of Ghana's ports at the Ghana Shipping Awards.
Since the inception of Iron Port, they've done very well. They've covered all the maritime news. They've brought the port business to the homes of ordinary Ghanaians. Ghanaians have begun to understand what the port is all about. Through their efforts, I believe that transparency of the business at the port has become known to Ghanaians. On the whole, I'm very...
So we say congratulations to everyone, each and everyone who make this program possible, all the television networks that we work with, or the entire crew who make the production of Iron Port work, the entire port community, because the whole program is bought into by the entire port community, and the entire port community make it happen. All the agencies make it the best. And we say a big thank you to the Ghana Port Authority for initiating such a program. In the meantime, the staff union of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have held a press conference to apologize to the chairman of the board of directors of Ghana's Ports and Harbours Authority about some allegations they claim they leveled against him, and they are apologizing for making those allegations. Next.
On 24th May 2018, the senior and junior staff local unions of Ghana Port and Harbours Authority in Tema and Takoradi held a press conference in Takoradi and raised some issues they considered as hampering the development of the port, and also leveled some allegations against the board chairman of GPHA, Peter McMenu.
Ensure that things are done rightly at the port.
Subsequently, Peter McMenu, board chairman of GPHA, held a press conference to refute all the allegations and gave the union an ultimatum to retract and apologize.
If for nothing at all, my work as board chairman, as the record will show, is making sure that the right thing is done for GPHA and the country, and not the other way around.
Indeed, the staff union admitted to have committed some blunder in their earlier press conference and have subsequently held another press conference to apologize to the board chairman, Peter McMenu.
Some facts have come to our notice, which on hindsight we would not have brought into the public domain against Peter McMenu and his family.
Joseph Asep, chairman of the senior staff union of GPHA, noted that the union wanted to put on record that they did not call the then press conference and level the allegations against the board chairman out of malice.
As a union and a social partner with the common objective of working together with management towards achieving the objectives of GPHA, we had some serious concerns about the happenings in GPHA, which we were not happy about. After the press conference, it has come to our notice that we did not engage management the more as we should have done before holding the press conference.
John Asef said nevertheless, as a union with a role to protect public interest, they would not check their responsibility as watchdogs of accountability in the governance of public institutions.
We therefore withdraw the allegations against Mr. Peter McMenu in particular. His wife and sons unreservedly apologize to them.
On that note, Iron Pod returns after the break.
Hello. Good morning. This is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less.
Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Baba, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how?
Hey. Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here, in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window. The only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Fraud alert. GPHA does not auction. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority wishes to inform the general public that the authority does not buy and sell on internet platforms and does not auction cars and other items in and around the port. Beware of fraudsters who claim to auction cars and other items in the ports and defraud people in the process. For further information, contact tema@ghanaports.net or call +233 303 202 758. Beware of fraudsters.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Eye on Port, and next up are news and activities that are happening in and around the port and maritime industry. The local news first.
The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has inaugurated a joint Customs Consultative Committee in Tema. Issues to be looked at by the committee will be on transit, the procedures for examinations, paperless transactions, and collaboration between agencies.
The most recent reform, which is the implementation of paperless transactions and joint examination, is for swift and cost-effective clearance of goods at the port.
Representatives of stakeholders present were from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Authority, among others. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi Nti, said the committee will target revenue collection, trade facilitation, and the protection and security of goods cleared at the various ports.
We need to have a good relationship with our stakeholders so that we wouldn't be the shipping boys of the stakeholders. But we collaboratively and cooperatively would work with them and then be able to raise the revenue that we need for the state.
The Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Abena Sewa Opokufosu, stated that GPHA is working together with Customs to minimize the time of doing business at the port so as to increase revenue.
The committees that are going to be working will do it with a sacred duty that we are going to build a better Ghana for everybody.
The representative of the JCC at the Kotoka International Airport lauded the formation of the committee, saying that it will create a good platform for collaboration between stakeholders.
Ghana's transport and logistics industry continues to suffer many setbacks, largely because of the disorganized and fragmented nature of the industry. It is an industry dominated by a large number of informal and unorganized trucks and truck owners, with logistics regarded as the backbone of the economy, providing efficient and cost-effective flow of goods on which other commercial sectors depend on, would be of great benefit to the economy. It is in this light that Renmood Consult has held the second edition of the Ghana Transport and Logistics Conference to tackle the evolution of an effective transport and logistics value chain for an accelerated development in Ghana. The CEO of Renmood Consult, Mutawakil Riyad, called on stakeholders within the transport sector to brainstorm on alternative channels to improve the sector,
with the goal to create a synergy and strengthen a collaboration between the public and private sector in the transport and logistics sector.
The technical advisor to the Senior Minister Yao Safo-Mafo, Robert Pokuche, said the Tema Port expansion project, when completed, will meet the increasing demand of port services. He called for a fund like the Ghana Infrastructure Fund to tackle the infrastructural deficit within the transport sector.
Government has also put together a team of experts in the transport and logistics industry tasked with the responsibility of seeing to the implementation of a paperless port system where cargo can be cleared from the port within 48 hours on arrival.
The Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager of Tema Port, Josephine Asante, speaking on the single window system and prospects for efficient transport and logistics operations in Ghana, said implementation of the single window system has been beneficial since the introduction of the paperless system.
In the single window, there's nothing like it. It's the best thing that can happen to any transport organization. The benefit of that, this simple process, is cost reduction.
The Personnel and Administration Manager of Tema Shipyard, Samuel Aja, said the Port Authority is investing in infrastructure to make the port more efficient.
One of the functions of the port is to invest in infrastructure. That's why, along the line, the organization took the decision to have a freshly built refinery.
Professor George Janbafor, Minister for Planning, has entreated stakeholders in the transport sector to explore workable but sustainable approaches to plan, finance and maintain the transport infrastructure whilst balancing issues of affordability to the citizens. He pointed out that the traditional cycle of borrowing for major investment projects such as roads and raising funds from traditional sources for maintenance and operation would not enable Ghana to reach the Ghana Beyond a dream envisaged by the President. Professor George Janbafor said this during the 3rd Transport Sector Review Conference in Takoradi.
All stakeholders must embrace the emerging innovations in planning our cities and our communities to our benefit.
On his part, Minister for Transport Kweku Ofori-Esiama said government is committed to revamping the Tema shipyard to give it an international standard.
The President is also making sure that we bring the Tema shipyard, which is not in Takoradi, the Tema shipyard, to its modern standard, international standard, to be able to take advantage of the oil and gas industry.
He also commended the President for allowing local content in terms of awarding the construction of the Atlantis Terminal Services at Takoradi Port to local companies, which is one of its kind. The Minister of Railways Development, Joe Garte, noted that the expansion of the country's ports and road network would be meaningless if the rail sector was ignored.
One of the biggest mistakes perhaps we made as a nation after we got independence is that we totally abandoned the railway.
International Pod News are next on your screens.
Malaysia's FPSO and FSO service provider, Jensen Holdings, has started exclusive negotiations for a potential supply and charter of a floating production storage and offloading unit off Nigeria. The company unveiled the plans to provide an FPSO to the country's first exploration and petroleum development company for processing hydrocarbons from the Anyala and Madu fields and the oil mining leases 83 and 85 offshore Nigeria. The initial term of the bareboat charter is expected to be of a period of 7 years, Jensen said, adding that first E&P would have the option to extend the charter for another 8 years in total. The parties are expected to finalize the agreements by the end of June 2018. China Merchants Port Holdings, CM Ports, has invested a final tranche of $584.2 million in Sri Lanka's Hambantota port after acquiring an 85% stake in the port last year. This makes the highest ever foreign direct investments received by Sri Lanka to date, according to Sri Lanka Ports Authority. The 3rd tranche follows the 1st and 2nd tranches released in December 2017 and January 2018. The two companies established at Hambantota further plan to invest an additional $400 to $600 million in phase 1 and 2 of the Hambantota port. A suspected stowaway was discovered aboard the bulk carrier MI Harmony on June 8th while the vessel was docked in the Port Elizabeth, South Africa. The 32-year-old male, believed to be from Tanzania, had reportedly fled from the ship's crew after being discovered and had suffered a fractured left leg while fleeing up a crane on the ship before reaching a narrow ledge halfway up the crane. Ship's crew were able to reach the man and he had been secured by ship's crew using harnesses, but they were in a barely accessible part of the ship's crane above the deck of the ship, and EMS and police responded to assist, according to the National Sea Rescue Institute, NSRI.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Next up are schedules of vessels in the port, those that are also at anchorage, those expected in the coming week, including all fishing vessels, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate. Next. As always, we continue to urge you to send in your comments, and if you have videos of some of the issues you encounter when you do business with Ghana Sport, we urge you to send them to us via the contacts you see beneath the screens there. Next up are some few comments you have sent in.
Maxwell from Tema says, Iron Port, please check the duty of this car for me. 2013 Kia Optima LX with the chassis number as follows. Well, Maxwell, the estimated duty is 17,800 Ghana cedis, and this is subject to existing conditions by the time your vehicle will arrive. Nana Kwame Wiachre says, I'm clearing a car at Tema Port. I paid a duty of about 47,000 Ghana cedis almost a week after paying that duty. My agent calls to tell me that I have to pay about 16,000 Ghana cedis in addition because another custom officer says the 47,000 Ghana cedis was not the duty I was supposed to pay. Meanwhile, we paid that duty given to us by customs earlier. Nana Kwame, kindly send the car details including the chassis number to us so we can cross-check from customs the exact amount you are required to pay, and then we will follow up from there.
So that's it for this week's episode of Iron Port, and again we say congratulations to all the award-winning organizations, institutions and individuals, the Ghana Shippers Awards, the 2018 edition. People, exactly a year from now, in the month of June, exactly a year from now, we have been promised by Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, Meridian Port Services and all, that we should see the expanded version of Tema Port. That means that by then, the MPS port expansion should be about 70% complete, because phase 1 would have been done exactly a year from now. Iron Port will be featuring the current situation of that project, the Meridian Port Services Tema Port Expansion Project. We will be featuring that and find out the current state and all of that. Next edition of Iron Port. Thank you for watching. Also thanks to the entire crew, particularly Belinda Decker, Lawrence Gazy, Joe Lavo, Joe Bone, Godwin Kabute, Solomon Anderson, Robert Nyantechi, and the executive producers, Madam Abna Sewa Opokufosu and Madam Esther Jebidonko. Thanks for watching.